Why would you ever sell one of these assets like XRP, XLM, XDC? Why would you sell any of these assets? Don't you know what you hold? That's a question I've been hearing a lot, and I've heard it throughout my XRP journey as well. But I thought I'd just share my perspective on this, where I currently stand on that question, because I think my argument against that, the idea of don't you know what you hold, just hold it forever and don't do anything else, I think it's a pretty reasonable argument. I think everyone should relate to what I'm about to say, some people more than others. But look, I understand that there is a price appreciation possibility for these assets that is beyond anything that we could ever expect or hope for in any other asset. This is much like, investing in the internet before the internet. That we're going to see some unheard of growth in this market. The big question, though, is when is that going to happen? And I'll ask you, when is it going to happen? And you'll probably say, definitely, it seems like in the next 6 months, maybe early part of next year. That's what a lot of people will say. It's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Now, I will say, having been in this for quite some time, that it's always about to happen. And eventually it will be. I'm not saying anything against the fact that it will be. However long you've been in this market, there's a certain amount of time that has elapsed. And during that certain amount of time that has elapsed, you've probably noticed that you've perhaps given up on some opportunities, not gone on vacation sometimes, because you've invested in crypto, deliberately so. I would say you've overextended yourself. You've invested too much in crypto, but it's not too much when you think about the prospect of where this asset is going. So, I know people are supposed to stay within only invest in what you can afford to lose, but if we don't have much in the first place, it's a different conversation. Anyway, so when I hear the question, don't you know what you hold? Why would you ever take profits? Why would you, the XRP is going to be thousands of dollars at some point in the future. Why would you ever sell? And I guess my question back, if I'm going to answer your question with a question, why would you ever, don't you know what you hold? And I would say, don't you know the value of time? Like, isn't that a more important question? I can know what I hold, but I'm telling you, there's something more important than the value of this thing I hold. I absolutely know what I hold. I absolutely know that if I held every ounce of it for the long term, I would have lots and lots of money. I absolutely know that. But let's say that's in 15 years when those price points are achieved, right? Let's just do the experiment. It's in 15 years. I will be, 48. How old will you be in 15 years? And answering that, some of you might look at that and think, actually, I'll be lucky to be here. And that's a harsh reality that we have to face, because it's finite. There's an actual finite amount of time that we have. And the likelihood is that the absolute kind of prime of our lives is already over. My wife sent me something the other day that was, we've been fooled into thinking that midlife is 50. And I think as the population grows, we will continue to live longer and longer. I certainly align with that. But really, looking at when life starts and when life typically ends, it's around 38 years old where you're at midlife. And so knowing that that's 5 years away from me, that's kind of like, excuse me, running out of time here. So when I think about 15 years, I think about, okay, let's say I wait 15 years for $1,000 XRP. I got millions and millions and millions and millions. But in the meantime, I've kind of sacrificed for the next 15 years. I've kind of had my attention on crypto and had all my focus there. I've put any spare capital to crypto for 15 years. I've declined going on a few holidays just so I can have that money to invest, which is where many people are. You end up 15 years down the line, less able, you're older, yet less able to go and experience and have that money feed you in such a way that's energetic. I don't know if I'm verbalizing that right. Basically, you want money while you're able to see the value in it. It's a different question if, you are willing to sacrifice everything in your life for the value that will come after you. That's fine. I would still suggest, you only get one. You only get one life. And it doesn't need to be, you can have both of those things. You can have that generational wealth creation in the assets that you're holding, but you can also have that, I saw benefit in what I did in my life, and I took advantage of this finite life that I have, and I used it. That's means taking profits, right? And so I think if there is, like I've said before, there's no amount of money that I could be promised to make me not sell, because the more important thing here is actually time, not the money. And there's one thing that no one here can deny: we have limited time. So I guess it's the degree to which that is important to you will make the difference between how much this resonates or not. I would suggest, if it resonates strongly, say you've watched your crypto go up and you've watched it all come back down, you've heard countless stories of other people, and you didn't do anything about it, and now you're still here in the same position you were 4 years ago. If that's the story for you, and you're also aware that the last 4 years have just disappeared, and you don't really know what happened to those 4 years, and nothing really changed financially, and crypto hasn't really gone, you've got to make a plan for that, because it's not in alignment with you and who you are and how you operate. So I think that's a more powerful question. How valuable is time to you? If time is not that valuable to you, then sure, hold for as long as you want. And yeah, you'll see those price points later on in this unknown time horizon with this unknown value. You'll see it, but it's all unknown. Or you do value your time, and even and this is one of the harsh realities. It's like if your portfolio is large enough now, I would say if you're between, I think probably the minimum threshold here is like $30,000 in your portfolio. If you've got that much, you can do some damage, certainly in the long term. Anyone can make damage in the long term, do damage in the long term in terms of how much you can grow your portfolio in the long term. Anyone can do that. You could have $1,000 right now and your long-term portfolio value could be very high. But if you're aware of the limited nature of time and how it will run out, and how it's going to run out quicker than versus some other people, and you're not willing to kind of wait with everything, take some off the table. I don't know how else to say it. It's like, it seems so logical to me, but I'm aware that there's this like cycle of information where it's like, look what I hold, it's going to be this much value in the future. But pay attention to diminishing returns too. If you have nothing right now, and when I say nothing, I mean, let's say less than 30,000. That's just a random number, by the way. Don't hold me to those numbers. But if you go from $30,000 and now you have $1 million, that's a massive jump, right? That's like a $970,000 increase. And that is a massive jump in lifestyle. But if you go from 1 million to 2 million, it's a bigger jump, because now it's a full $1 million that you've grown, but the life hasn't changed that much. And so go from 2 million to 4 million. Again, nothing changes that much. And this is diminishing returns. So it makes more of an impact in the short term, what you can do, rather than the even though they're big financial value differences at the later stage, where you go from 10 million to 20 million, the 10 to 20 does less for you than 0 to 1 million. And so holding on to massive amounts of cryptos forever because of how much money you're going to have later on is kind of pointless to me, because what are you really gaining? You could have transferred some of that diminishing return and just taken some in the short term so that you can be more present in your life and enjoy your life, knowing that it's going to end. And we have to take some enjoyment for this now, from it now. I guess most people who don't resonate with this are already left the video. So now that it's just us, this is the real driving mentality, the real driving force that makes up the currently 48 people that are in my program right now. And they're working through creating a complete exit strategy that's personalized to you. And when I say exit strategy, I mean the plan of action that you have for taking profits, specifically taking profits. There'll be a portion that you're holding forever that will take advantage of all the big price appreciation. There'll be a portion that you are selling though. And 99% of people, I would say everyone except people in my program, will not make this exit strategy. Certainly in the way that I've kind of laid out in this program. If you don't have this take profit plan, you don't have an exit. You don't have a take profit plan. It's that insane. Now you can go don't take my word for it. Like, we're having some life-changing experiences in this program. I'm serious. If you type in Lewis Jackson testimonials on YouTube, you'll see a channel there where I'm just posting the testimonials as they come in. So hear from people. Go and hear from what people are saying. about the program. You're creating a personalized exit strategy that allows you to finally make some money this bull run when the prices go up, but also allow you to hold for this massive price appreciation and the generational wealth that you're going for. This is specifically a specialism on taking profits. It's not about tax or anything like that. It's not about estate planning. That's one step too far ahead of where we are right now. What we need to focus on right now is actually how to make a plan of action. And I've got a series of videos coming out this week and next week and the week after, just about some of the things that creating an exit strategy can actually do for you. Far more than financial. Seriously more than financial. So if that's of interest to you, click the link in the description and join us so we can meet you where you're at and figure out where you are, where you need to be, and whether this program is actually good for you or not. Because on this call, you'll basically realize at a certain point whether, most people everyone who joins the program in the end just thinks it's a complete no-brainer. Like, you absolutely have to do it, but also, like, the point here isn't to drive a sale. It's actually to help. Like, the clarity that this exit plan gives you, the clarity that this program gives you is second to none. Like, you'll know exactly what is required of you this bull run and the next bull run, whether you can achieve everything you want to this bull run or whether you have to wait another one. Like, this understanding and this knowledge gives you such an ability to be present. Like imagine if you understand that with your portfolio right now, you've realized through the program that you won't get to your goal in this bull run. That is extremely positive news, and I'll tell you why. Because now that you know how to take profits, because you will do it in this bull run, you'll know how to do it. So the next time that comes around, with all the money that you made this time round, you reapply it at the bottom of the market. Again, that will be in the program, how to re-enter. And knowing that you'll get there next time, all of a sudden gives you now this availability of time. You're now like, okay, I don't need to pay attention to all the news and all the latest things going on in crypto. What I can do now is just focus on me, focus on my family, focus on being present. Like, my mind's not always overwhelmed and contributing to this crazy cycle of influencers online. You don't have to be plugged into that anymore. Imagine that. And so knowing, it's just going to be 5 years from now when it'll happen, the next bull run, it'll happen for me. I can now enjoy my next 5 years. Imagine the prospect of knowing the destination and then also being able to enjoy the meantime. That's what having a plan of action can do for you. So if any of that resonates, book a call. Me or someone in my team will have a conversation with you and just see if it's the right fit. No pressure, but we'll just see if the program's going to work for you. And if you're the right person with the right problem that we're looking to solve here, it's an absolute no-brainer. And you'll know that in the call. Anyway, thanks for watching. Back in the car, it's boiling in here. I'm going to go here. Got another few calls to do for the rest of the day. But until then, see you on Thursday.